Hey guys, it's Miss Elkins again. I'm here with your homework helper. This is homework 24, which is due on Monday, April 6th. Remember, every homework you need to fill in the online form, and if I ask you to send me a picture of any of the problems, you just send the picture of that problem. You do not have to send me a picture of your entire homework anymore. Great? All right, thanks. Number 1, it says, at the gym, one balance beam is 15 feet long, while the second is 162 inches long. What we have to do here is figure out which balance beam is longer. Something interesting that might help us with this is to know that 1 foot equals 12 inches. So if we change these to the same form, that might help us figure out how many inches this thing is long, or how many feet. So if 1 foot equals 12 inches, how can we figure out how to get from inches to feet, right? Oh, look, I've already set up a proportion for you. We can butterfly multiply, divide by the lonely guy. The lonely guy is going to be 12, and the multiplication here is just going to be 1 times 162. So really all we have to do is divide 162 by 12 to convert this to feet. Or we could do inches, it wouldn't matter. So 12 will go into 16 one time. With 4 left over, we bring down that 2. 12 will go into 42 3 times, with 6 left over. So this is 13 feet 6 inches. Notice I didn't keep on multiplying because we don't need a decimal here. This is inches. This is what's left over. So clearly 13 feet and 6 inches is shorter than 15 feet. So the first balance beam is longer. All right. We could have done that a whole nother way. Maybe you would find this easier, because I know that 1 foot equals 12 inches, and then I have 15 feet, and I want to know how many inches that is. So then all I have to do is multiply 15 times 12, and 15 times 12 would be, let's see, 2 times 5 is 10, that's 3, that's 0, that's 5, that's 1, that's 0, that's 8. This one is 180 inches. So clearly it's longer than 162. So the first balance beam is longer. Either way you do it, the first one is longer. All right, number 2, what is the value of 7, parentheses, 3x minus 4, parentheses, plus 4 to the third power when x equals 2? We need to substitute 2 for x and then use PEMDAS. This probably looks familiar to you because we did the same problem where x equals 6. All right, so let's go ahead and start by replacing the x with a 2 in the original expression. So there we go. 7 times 3 times 2 minus 4 plus 4 to the third power. So we start with parentheses. 7 times 6 minus 4, because 3 times 2 is 6, plus 4 to the third power. Do each step so you don't get confused, and that way you won't accidentally add before you're supposed to multiply. We still have parentheses, so now it's 7 times 2 plus 4 to the third power. Now, there's no operation inside those parentheses. It's just 7 times 2. So next thing we do is exponents. So it's 7 times 2 plus 4 to the third power. 4 to the third power is 4 times 4 times 4. That's 16 times 4, which is 64. I think we should already know that, right? So now our question is, what is 7 times 2 plus 64? Well, we multiply before we add. So 7 times 2 is 14, and now it's 14 plus 64. I moved up here because I ran out of room. 14 plus 64 is 78, right? Let me double check my math. 64 plus 14, that's 8, that's 7. That's what I get. Hope you get the same thing. Alrighty, so order of operations. We are moving on down. Next question, find the area of the parallelogram. I gave you the formula that you need to use for that. This is the height, this is the base. So the area equals 5 times 9, which is 45. The area of this parallelogram is 45 square centimeters. When you put it in the form, just put in the number 45 because it won't have the description. All right, moving on. Number 4, Amber needs to purchase carpet for her living room shown below. What is the area of Amber's living room? Remember, A equals BH. This would be your B. This would be your H. It really doesn't matter which one you call which because multiplication is commutative. You can spread it around however you want. It's still going to get you the same answer. So I'm going to start with the base, 23 and 8/10, just because it has more digits, times 13, which is the height. And then we just multiply. Forget about the decimals for now and just multiply. 3 times 8 is 24. 3 times 3 is 9, plus 2 is 11. 3 times 2 is 6, plus 1 is 7. Then we bring down our 0 placeholder. 1 times 8 is 8. 1 times 3 is 3. 1 times 2 is 2. Everything's lined up. I just add those digits. Oops, 7 plus 3 is 10. And then I have 1 decimal place in my problem, which means I have to have 1 decimal place in my answer. The area of this room is 300 and... Oops, I messed up there. Area equals 309 and 4/10 square feet. You do not have to put the square feet in your answer on the form. It'll probably count it wrong if you do. Just write 309 and 4/10. Number 5, find the area of the shape. Again, area equals base times height. So let's multiply the base times the height. So I'll start with 16 and 4/10 just because it has more digits, and multiply it times 5 and 6/10. When you flip that upside down, it just makes it harder than it needs to be. So we put the longest digit on the top and the smallest digit on the bottom always, just for safety and less possibility of error's sake. All right, so we start. 6 times 4 is 24. 6 times 6 is 36 plus 2 is 38. And 6 times 1 is 6 plus 1 plus 3 is 9. Put a 0 placeholder. 5 times 4 is 20. Oh, that works out nicely. 5 times 6 is 30 plus 2 is 32. Oh, that works out nicely again. And 5 times 1 is 5 plus 3 is 8. And then we add 4, 8, 11, 9. Don't forget your 2 decimal places. The area of this shape. Oh, here's the place where we got the answer right here. The area of this shape, 91 and 84 hundredths square feet. Again, you don't have to put the feet squared in this form when you submit it because it'll probably count it wrong if you do. All right, those are questions 1 through 5. I hope I will talk to you again tomorrow or later today. Well, it depends on when you're watching these videos. I miss you guys. Love you guys.